Talking about state, we're going to get into the Mississippi State preview. They host Northern Illinois this weekend. Hopefully it goes better than the last time a MAC team came into town. I expect it to. These are very different teams. But the spread is Mississippi State favored by 21.5, looking to win this game to get to 4-0 before the big game, the SEC opener for State next week when Tennessee comes into town. Thoughts on this game, though? I'm going to let y'all take it away from here as the State guys.
Yeah, Northern Illinois is 1-1 on the season. They've got a win over Holy Cross by 2 points, 19-17, and then a loss 2 weeks ago at Maryland. They had a bye week in between our game and the Maryland game, so they were coming off a bye, so they'll be well rested. But obviously, last year's team beat Notre Dame in Notre Dame's house after Notre Dame beat A&M. Since 2021. Northern Illinois is 3-6 against Power 4 opponents. They're 6-3 against the spread. For this year's NIU team, they're not really led by their quarterback at all, Josh Holtz. It's really their two-back approach. And Siobhan Wright and Telly Johnson Jr., they run the ball 66% of the time. Both of those backs, Wright and Johnson Jr., have over 150 yards through 2 games. Another tidbit, I guess, from last week's game, this is kind of how it went. They used a fake punt last week. It did not work, so don't expect a fake punt this week. That was similar with Arizona State. They ran a fake punt against Northern Arizona. Obviously didn't run one against us. Telly Johnson had a 70-yard touchdown run. They forced 2 red zone field goals, a forced fumble, and a turnover on downs, all in the red zone. This is how they stuck with Malik Washington and Maryland and kept it to a 20-9 game. They just were really bend, not break in the red zone. They were excellent at that. The 2 touchdowns that Maryland scored, one was pretty at the 15-yard line, and the other one was a deep touchdown on a 4th and 5. I mean, they were down 4, 13-19, under 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and they gave up a touchdown where the defensive back just kind of jumped it weirdly, but Malik Washington threw kind of a perfect ball right behind the DB's head on 4th and 5 for midfield there. I mean, they would have had the ball driving to take the lead potentially. I will say, with this team, there's nothing to fear with the quarterback. Point blank, he's not good. Honestly.
I was going to say, reading your notes pre-show, this is the harshest you've been on any quarterback we've talked about on the show.
Really poor decision-making.
He has 192 yards and an interception through 2 games.
Yes, against Holy Cross and, of course, against Maryland. Not a strong arm. He's not a quick thrower. He's not a quick decision-maker. He's not a runner. He's not fast whatsoever. There's a play against Maryland last week where Maryland just beats the offensive line. Literally 4 offensive linemen get beat immediately. They were inside their own 10-yard line, and he's running for his life. And then right before he gets sacked, he just throws it on the ground and takes an intentional grounding on the 1-yard line, which is kind of smart because you can only be down to the 1. But it was such a goofy play. It looks so helpless.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see if we'll be able to do that to him this week. So there's nothing. Honestly, there's nothing to fear with the quarterback. And I think our DBs are good enough to stay with their receivers to where we wouldn't get beat through the air. The way we're going to get beat is on the ground, and their ground game is really good. As I said, they run it 66% of the time. They don't go away from it. They were down 10 early against Maryland, and they were able to drive the field. They were down 13, actually, 13 to nothing. They were able to drive down the field, basically running the ball the whole way. They're not very big. And tight end for Maryland, Schubert, I forgot his name. He pretty much dominated them. I expected him to. I talked really highly of him in the season preview. I just tried to yap, and I still couldn't remember his name. So I like maybe Seydu to potentially have a good game. He hasn't really gotten involved whatsoever in the passing game this year, and his size, I think, could be a factor. We don't have the receivers to really win 50-50 balls, so we're going to have to beat them over the top. We obviously don't have the backs that are just going to run over them, so I think Seydu is a guy that could potentially be a weapon.
Was it Dorian Fleming?
Dorian Fleming. That's his name. Yes, the transfer.
Yep.
I think a guy like Seydu is something that could help, but this is not a big team. One of our friends that's in RUF that was a former trainer. I was talking to him last night. There was something like last week against Alcorn State. As soon as they came out of not the tunnel but out of the jumbotron, and you saw their size and you compared it to our size, he knew in that moment it was like, okay, we're just bigger than them. They're just gonna have no chance. I'm curious to see if that's how it will look with Northern Illinois. They, as I said, they don't really have any size, and the way they looked against Maryland, they were very oversized, clearly. But they're gonna stick around. They're not gonna stop fighting. This is not how this Huskies team plays. And as I said, they're 3-6 against Power 4 opponents. Obviously, the win over Notre Dame, but they've also beaten Georgia Tech in Georgia Tech's building 4 years ago. They're 6-3 against the spread straight up. Their other, I actually don't remember their other Power 4 win. So they're going to stick in this game. I think they'll cover the spread easily, actually, in this game. I don't think this is a team we're going to blow out unless we can really just get going over the top. But I don't think this is a team that can beat us because of the quarterback, and Josh Holtz is not something that I fear whatsoever.
Yeah, I would say I'm going to talk about State for a little bit, and I'm also like doing research as I talk. Keys to the game for State are like keep the momentum rolling but also don't lose track of this game, and that's what I've been saying for 3 weeks, because coming off that Arizona State game, I kind of feel like these next 2 weeks, are they called trap games? Is that the word? Where it's like you come off of a high and
look ahead game
look
is
ahead
what I
game.
think this would be characterized as with the Tennessee game.
Right. These are opportunities to stumble because you're focused on a top 25 matchup, or not top 25, sorry, a top 25 team coming into your stadium in it was after the Arizona State game. It would have been in 3 weeks. But the keys to this game are to kind of try and recreate the game from last week against Alcorn State. It's going to be harder. Northern Illinois is not an FCS team. Like JP said, they've got wins over P4 teams. They've competed, and they've covered spreads against P4 teams. But for State, the keys are going to be to score early and get up big so that you can put in those backups. Because with the injuries we've had on offensive line, already losing one guy for the season, and then Albert Reese, I believe, sitting out for the last game against Alcorn State, you just don't want to risk losing a key piece. You don't want to be playing Brennan Thompson and Anthony Evans in the fourth quarter. You don't want Blake Shapen still in there in the fourth quarter taking hits, because as we've seen, that's what he does. Is he's going to keep playing, and he's going to take stupid hits. A blitzer is going to get through once, and it's going to be like a shot to the ribs, and that's just going to leave you like squirming and hoping that he gets up and is all right, because he's already missed so much time in his college career due to injury.
Sure.
This is a big game, though. This is our opportunity to start 4-0. Do y'all know the last time we started 4-0? That's what I was trying to figure out.
2018?
Nope.
Further back, or?
It's further back.
Yeah.
JP, do you know the last time we started
2016.
2014.
It was 2014, the year we were ranked number 1 in the college football playoff. That was the last time we started 4-0. This is a big deal.
Yeah, we almost always played LSU early, and we just lose the LSU game.
Yeah, so this is a big deal, an opportunity to do something that we haven't done in 10 years in the second year under a new head coach. So if we can do that and then stay healthy, this Tennessee game, we have a chance to at least have energy and excitement going into it. And I don't want to talk too much about the Tennessee game. So those are my thoughts there. JP makes a great point. The run game from Northern Illinois, I pulled it up. I had 65%, they rush the 10th most in the country. Their rush percentage is the 10th highest in the country. That is how little they pass. They're only passing 35% of the time.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a good test for that State defensive line. Even if we're not playing SEC talent, they're going to be trying to run it down our throats. And so how do we stand up against that? Can we hold them to 3.5 yards a carry, keep them under that 4-yard kind of average? That'll be big. What does the defensive alignments look like? I would love to see more stacked boxes, 4-man front, something we didn't see last year and we've seen this year now that we have more depth. This might be the first game where we really feel the loss of Whitwitson. Might be the first week where we really feel the loss of that. Not so much, not that it could lead to a loss in the game, but we realize that without him, our run defense, like if we are giving up 4.5, 5 yards of carry to Northern Illinois, our run defense could be a struggle going forward. So this is a great test as far as the defense goes. And then the offense, just do more of the same. What does the Northern Illinois defense look like? Are they just giving you the free shots over the top? I would love to see more competition. I don't know that I want to have more freebies because you don't want to get used to playing that kind of defense when you've got an elite defense coming into the stadium the next week. So I would love a more above average defensive showing from Northern Illinois. I don't know if that's what we should expect.
I would expect
Right now, they're 51st in opponent yards per game. So that's, I mean, they're about where we are. We're 34th currently in the country. So defensively, they have been good, holding opponents to only 20 points per game. That's 40th in the country. So I do think we could expect a good showing, definitely better than Alcorn State, but I don't know what exactly that'll look like.
They're really built defensively, and then they like to ground and pound and control the clock. But they are going to play good defense. It's going to, like I said, they hold Maryland in 5 red zone trips to a touchdown, 2 field goals, a turnover on downs, and a fumble. So they are going to continue to fight, and they play well defensively. Guys like Quinn Erweiler, who's their leading tackler, and then Philip Maciorowski, a Poland guy, also a linebacker. And then defensively, in the defensive back room, Muhammad Yaman. That's probably not how you say his last name.
I think that's an Yama.
Yama?
There's an H at the end, I think.
Yama.
close.
Or do you think the J is like a Jamma?
Maybe,
The
I
J
don't know.
makes the J's. I don't know.
He's their safety. He's a guy who will fly up and play in the run defense very well. He has a pick this year as well. Those are the kind of guys you'll have to look out for defensively, but I think it's going to come down to red zone efficiency. And then I would agree. I would love to stack the box, really try to shut down the run game. And I hope that it's something that we saw is that, okay, go make Josh Holtz beat us.
Just win
Yeah.
first down, get them in obvious passing situations, and it should be a good day for the defense. If you're always letting them be in 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, where you still have to like really respect the run, that's when they're going to start to potentially put together these drives that eat up clock, takes kind of some of the air out of the student section, as they just want to see the offense get back on the field and hit another explosive play. That's what you can't let them do.
Another shout out to their secondary. They're currently holding opposing quarterbacks to 52.8% completion. That's 12th in the country. So that speaks somewhat to the level of quarterback they've played in Holy Cross and then Maryland with their freshman quarterback. But that's still something to watch for, allowing around 50% completion percentage.
Sure. All right, let's pick this game.
I agree.
Spread's 21.5. Mississippi State's favorite, obviously. JP, you've already said you're taking Northern Illinois to cover.
Yeah, I would have taken them for sure at 22.5. I'll still take them at 21.5. If it got to 21 or 20.5, I'd take State to win by 3 touchdowns. But I think more than 3 touchdowns, take the Huskies just with the way they can control the clock and the way that they'll fight defensively. I think they'll keep us in check. I don't think they'll score a ton of points, but I don't think we will either.
Sure. Sanders?
I'm going to pick State. I picked Southern game 1, and we covered. So I lost that one, and then I picked State to cover the last 2 times, and they have done that. So I'm going to go with State again. I like our odds here just because I don't expect Northern Illinois to score a lot, and I have trust in our offense that we're going to be able to put up enough points to cover the 21.5. I could see us winning by 24, 3 touchdowns and a field goal, even as much as 28, get up those 4 touchdowns. I don't think, I was trying to find it earlier, I don't think Northern Illinois has covered the spread yet, but I could be wrong. So I think that speaks somewhat to the odds of us covering. So I'm going to pick us to cover just because we've covered all 3 games, and I don't want to be wrong picking against us again.
Fair. I'm going to take Northern Illinois. Just because I have to make a pick, I see both y'all's reasonings. I don't really know. I've not watched any Northern Illinois football this year. But it just kind of feels like State isn't just going to hit 3 40-yard touchdowns every game. So
yeah,
I'll take it to be a bit lower score and take Northern Illinois to cover.
Another chance for me to extend my lead in the pick 'em. I'll take it.
I don't think that'll happen. We're 3-0 against the spread. We're due for a loss against the spread.